In the kingdom of Arodan, a peaceful forest community built on strict tradition, life is divided into two parts and two only. Women bring life. They are midwives and healers. They deliver babies, mix herbs, and protect the sick. Men protect life. They are warriors and hunters, trained to fight, bleed, and die for the kingdom. Women did not hold weapons and fight, and men never did things like healing and midwifery. Gender roles were very strict, and no one thought of breaking the rules because for generations, the people of Arodan believed this rule came from the Orishas, namely the Orisha of war and protection, and the Orisha of healing and childbirth. Breaking it wasn't just wrong, it was seen as a sin. But sometimes, people are born with gifts that don't fit the rules. Olamide was not like other young girls. While the other young girls learned how to wrap newborns in soft cloth and prepare medicinal wines and teas for mothers in labor and the sick, Olamide loved to stay outside, watching her brothers and father practicing and training. She would spend hours practicing with sticks like they were spears and machetes. Soon, she could run as fast as the boys and could scale trees in seconds. She was strong too, easily taking down boys twice her size. At first, it was a source of amusement in Arodan when she was younger, and people would laugh as she beat up bullies. But as she grew older, the laughter turned into speculation and subtle warning, and reminders that she was a girl and she should start behaving like one. So when she turned 14, she was forced to start midwife training like every other girl. On her first day in the birthing hut, assisting a birth with her mother, she watched a woman struggling in labor. She was supposed to help calm the laboring, soon-to-be mother down, but her own screams were louder. The blood and tearing flesh made her puke, and she ended up fainting before the baby even arrived. Her mother was embarrassed and frustrated, and the other women began to whisper, "You are supposed to be strong. You are supposed to help bring life. Why are you acting like a child?" But Olamide wasn't weak. She could handle pain, exhaustion, or fear, just not that kind of blood. So at night, while others slept, she snuck to the warriors' training grounds. She stole broken spears and copied every movement she saw. She practiced in secret every single night, not for praise, not for rebellion, but because it was the only time she felt like herself. Then there was Tade, the son of one of the strongest warriors and hunters in Arodan. Everyone expected him to be a fearless warrior like his father, who had scars from battles and a voice like thunder. But Tade was different. He was gentle and kind like his mother, and as a child he often spent time loitering outside the birthing hut, watching in awe as women brought life into the world and healed. He learned to pick and brew herbs secretly until his father, displeased with his son's lack of interest and prowess in the arts of war and battle, took him on a hunt. During the hunt, he couldn't bring himself to kill any animal, often letting them go out of pity. When he saw a deer get struck by a spear, he froze, watching as the deer collapsed, its blood spreading across the leaves. His hands started to shake, and as other men were cheering and congratulating the kill, he stumbled away to vomit. When it came to battle and fighting, he could defend himself with fluid and graceful movements that other men mocked as feminine. but he could never bring himself to strike and kill. His father noticed this and scolded him, disappointed and ashamed that he was weak. One evening, Tade heard crying coming from the animal stables. A cow was in labor, struggling to give birth. No one was around, so Tade acted. He spoke gently to the animal, remembering things he saw his mother do during village births. His hands were steady and his voice was soft as he calmly and gently guided the birth, soothing the cow, and minutes later a calf was born, alive, breathing, and safe. He was elated that he had succeeded, smiling with happiness and pride as he watched the cow tend to the calf he had helped bring into this world. He cleaned the newborn calf, wiped the blood away, and sat beside the mother cow until sunrise. He knew then that he did not want to be a warrior like his father. He wanted to heal and help bring life into the world. But in Arodan, a boy could not say that out loud. So he kept it a secret, delivering animals, helping women who couldn't afford a midwife, or single mothers that had been ostracized from society. The night everything changed. That night wasn't supposed to be dangerous. Most of the kingdom's warriors, almost all of them, had been sent north to block an invasion from a rival town. They were guarding the border and protecting the kingdom from attack. That meant the town itself was nearly undefended. Only a few older men, injured warriors, and young trainees remained behind. No one expected the enemy to be smart enough or cruel enough to slip past the main army, but they did. A group of enemy fighters snuck through the forest in the middle of the night, entering the town quietly. They didn't come to conquer. They came to kill the men who were left, capture women and children, and burn everything else to the ground. Tade had been helping move the injured and elderly into storage huts away from the chaos. He had tried to fight earlier, but he froze again at the sight of blood. He felt useless, like he always did when swords were raised. Then, he heard screaming coming from the women's quarters. He turned and saw them, 5 enemy soldiers, racing towards the betting hut where dozens of women and children and elderly were hiding. Something inside him stopped shaking. He didn't think, he just ran. Even though he had no sword, no real weapon, he grabbed a farming tool and sprinted after them, yelling to warn the others. At that exact moment, Olamide was inside one of the birthing rooms. Her mother, the village midwife, was sick with fever, so Olamide had to step in and help a woman who had gone into labor too early. She was trying her best, but the mother was in a lot of pain. Blood was everywhere, yet the baby wasn't coming out. Olamide's hands were shaking, and the more she tried to help, the more she realized she wasn't ready for this. Then suddenly, outside, she could hear shouting, steel clashing, and children screaming. She rushed to the window and froze. She saw Tade, gentle, quiet Tade, swinging a stick at trained invaders, trying to protect the women and children running toward the betting hut. Her heart sank at the sight. He was outnumbered and clearly weaker than them. There was no way he could defeat them and survive. Tade, get inside! Olamide shouted from the window. He didn't hesitate. He sprinted toward the hut and the women pulled him inside. Then they bolted the heavy wooden doors, their hearts beating loudly in the silence. Then a loud thud hit the door, then another. The invaders were shouting, "Come out, or we burn the hut!" Come out, all of you! Women screamed, babies cried, and some of the elders began to pray. Olamide looked at the mother in labor, the baby still not born. She looked at the door being struck again and again. If she didn't fight, they would all die. If she left, the mother and her child would die. She whispered, frustrated and scared, I can stop them, but I can't leave her like this. Tade, breathing hard, looked at the mother in labor, then at Olamide, and for the first time, he spoke without fear. I can do it, he said quietly. Olamide turned to him. What? I can do it, he repeated. I have helped animals give birth, cows, goats, and I have helped single mothers in the town in secret. I know what to do. I can deliver this baby. Olamide stared at him. Are you serious? He swallowed hard. Yes, I am. Then there was no time to argue. She grabbed a spear, one she had hidden beneath the floorboards. Tade placed his hands gently on the mother's trembling shoulders and said, You are safe. I've got you. Just breathe. Olamide nodded once. Don't let her die, she whispered. And Tade replied, Just don't let them in. This chapter closes here, but the story continues. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so don't hesitate to share them in the comments below. And remember to subscribe and like so you'll be ready for the next chapter in this unfolding tale. Share this video with someone who likes and enjoys stories like this as well. Thank you for listening.